It's triggering, especially I can understand for average men, because I feel as if the way society has gone and how people react, you know, things are getting more expensive, inflation, all these things, there's like been a war against average. Hello everyone, it's Ngozi and welcome back to Ejima. All right, it's been a while. Wanted to have a little trending topic today, but before I get into the video, if you have not subscribed to our channel, please subscribe and give this video a like. Okay, so unless you've been living under a rock, this week has been a real one for Black women, specifically Eboni K Williams. All right, it's been everywhere, like legit. It's been all over my YouTube. Like, you know, we talk about this type of stuff here and there. I know it gets very polarizing, controversial, but I feel like this story was really important. Basically, she's the host of, I believe, The Griot, and she was talking about, you know, dating, relationships, women doing, you know, Black women particularly doing well and struggling to find a mate. And Iyanla Vanzant, if you don't know her, you know, she's like I don't even know what to call her, like a healing coach, therapist, lawyer by trade. She has a show. She was really close to Oprah and all that stuff. So basically, she had asked her while she was going on and on about all these statistics, would you date a bus driver? And of course, her body language said it all. But basically, she was like, if he owned the bus. And she was like, no, would you date a bus driver? And basically, she said no. So then Iyanla says that she would date a bus driver as long as, you know, he was kind, you know, honest, treated his mother well, this, that, and the third. For anyone who doesn't know Eboni K Williams, just to give a little bit of her backstory, she's a 39-year-old American lawyer. She was on the Real Housewives of New York. You know, she's hosting this show. She's like she's a celebrity, you know, she's a popular personality. She was engaged to CFO Steve Glenn, I believe that's his name. Yes, Steve Glenn, for 4 years. They did not get married. She's never been married before. He was Caucasian. All right. So, and I believe that's who she was dating while she was on Real Housewives of New York. So basically, just giving a little bit of her backstory. I don't necessarily think that there was an issue with her saying she wouldn't date a bus driver. That's, to me, and I feel like the narrative a lot of people are spinning, especially people who are just showing snippets of it. I'm going to try and see if I could put in a clip here. I don't necessarily think the issue was with her not wanting to date a bus driver, because the reality is that she's a high profile woman. She's doing well for herself. I don't see why she would want to date a bus driver. That's just you know what I mean? I did my research. You know, we come with the facts on this channel. The average bus driver in Texas makes $17.85 an hour. That's entry level, and they can make up to $25.20. So according to salary.com, a bus driver in Texas makes $36,616. The average bus driver, okay? This is according to salary.com. If we're going to have a real honest conversation here, why should a woman at her level want that or be okay with that? And not necessarily wrong if you're okay with that, but like, why should it be a problem if she's not okay with that? You know, I just think that the narrative, the way people are trying to kind of twist it to me, I just feel like it was very unbalanced. It would be another conversation if this was an average woman, maybe a school teacher, someone making 40, 50K, and then she's saying she didn't want to date a bus driver, she wouldn't date a bus driver. This would be a whole nother conversation. There'd be nothing to talk about. She would sound crazy. You know what I mean? But I just feel as if like Eboni K Williams is not an average woman. Looks wise, money, career wise, she's not an average woman. So for her to not want an average guy, I don't think that's problematic. You know, I don't think that's an issue. So just looking at numbers, right? Because I feel like sometimes when you hear these things and like, if you're not really maybe in that category, you're kind of living your own little rock, you don't realize like what people are really making, right? So I'm using Texas because y'all know I'm in Houston, Texas. So I'm using Texas. I use Texas to get these numbers. I just wanted to get an idea of what the average person is making. Then we're going to go into what the average Black person is making, okay? The average Black person in Houston, all right, makes $74,263 a year. I'm putting all these links down. All this stuff isn't going to be in the stats. I believe this was Pew Research, all right? The average Black man makes in America makes $46,065. The average Black woman makes $41,719. This is from Black demographics, all right? So the average Black household makes 46,400. So if you're like me, when you're first looking at these numbers, it doesn't make sense, right? Because just saying the average black man makes 46,000, then the average black household makes about 46,000. But then if you look deeper in the numbers, about 44% of black households female only, 10% male only. So it was like over 50% of black households are single parent households. So that's greatly impacting these numbers, of course, because we know 2 is usually better than 1, especially when we talk about numbers, finances, and money. In America, I said the average black household makes 46,400. In America, the average household makes 69,717. So you can see the average black household makes more than 20,000 less than the average household. All right, so when you come and look at these average numbers, there's a reason why I'm pulling out these numbers, not just because math is my favorite subject. Then you bring it back to what the average bus driver in Texas makes, 36,616. It's not really far off. All right, when the average black woman makes 41,000. All right, so it's basically a man making what she's making. It's not really far off, and that's why I keep emphasizing, if this was an average earning woman making a comment like that, this would be a whole other conversation. I think that what really got to people was her body language, her first response, if he owned the bus. It's triggering, especially I can understand for average men, because I feel as if the way society has gone and how people react, things are getting more expensive, inflation, all these things. There's been a war against average, just overall. Average lifestyle, average housing, average car. It's like with social media, if you're not careful and if you're not really living in the real world and dealing with normal everyday people, luxury could almost become like an average to you. Like you think that everyone's living like in a $2,000 apartment, everyone's driving a Benz or a Tesla, everyone's taking 4 vacations a year. But when you step back into reality, me and I have these conversations all the time, so Nnena, don't start getting smart. It's like when you step into reality and listen to podcasts with average people, and they're telling you their average salaries and how they're saving for their 401k and their children's college and their 529 plans. Average people making average salaries are living average lives. They're not miserable. They're not depressed. Of course, things are getting more and more difficult for sure. Like cost of living in this last year has been crazy, but they're okay. All right. But then there's a caveat, right? A lot of times average is pushed on us because most people are average, men and women. So when you basically take away, I don't want an average woman, you don't want an average man, you're taking away the majority in terms of partners, people you could be partnered with. But at the same time, I don't want us to start having this idea that average means good or average means better, because at the end of the day, from my personal experience, when it comes to dating or all that stuff, yes, there are more average people, but I don't necessarily because I date an average guy, he's going to be a better man than a man that's above average or a man that's rich. That's not true. I would tell you that for free. Average men cheat, rich men cheat, poor men cheat, above average men cheat, rich men are abusive, average men are abusive. All these negative traits that most people don't want, they come in all income grades. So I feel like sometimes even when I talk to people, the way they're trying to push is like, oh, just be with an average guy and he's going to be so good. He's going to treat you so well. He's going to be so great. He's going to be so amazing. Trust me, from personal experience, that's not always the case. The argument is that there's a numbers game, right? I said my favorite subject is math. So even if there's 80% average people and half of them are trash, men or women, bad personality, don't treat you well, you still have 40% to choose from. So it's just physically there's a larger number, so there's more to choose from. But this whole idea that, because someone is average or you date a bus driver, you're going to be a good man. Character is not always related to income. I'm not going to be naive and say that there's not some type of relationship, especially once we hit a certain type of threshold. I'm not going to sit and say that there cannot be a relationship. Causation does not always mean correlation, right? Or either way you want to pull it. But I don't want us at the same time, while we're telling women to basically humble themselves and not be unrealistic and not be delusional and be in reality, make it seem as if you go date an average or a working class man, he's going to be it. Because we all can have stories. If I tell girls, start commenting in the comment section about what they've dealt with, what they've been through, or what they've dealt with men who are below average earners, working class, even poor, women are dating men. And it doesn't mean that you're going to have necessarily the best outcomes. It just gives you more people to work with. That's just the reality. So personally, as I titled this video, Eboni K Williams wouldn't date a bus driver and I wouldn't either. I'm being honest. And I just feel as if I don't understand why, especially men, they get so triggered when women are saying what they want and don't want. People are okay to have what they want. I've had guys tell me I can't date a girl, your height, you're too tall. That's fine. I just need one person. I'm not trying to marry 4 men. All right. I'm not trying to date 4 men. People are allowed to want what they want. Someone can say, hey, they don't even want a black woman. That's fine. Everyone has the right to have their preference. The difference is that if they're not complaining, or if they're sitting there doing waiting, whatever they want to do, how they want to get there, you can argue that, yeah, it's not that realistic, the likelihood, outcomes. That's a whole other conversation. Yes, we can get to that. But we let people want what they want, even if it's unrealistic. Let them sit in their unreality. I've come to that point in my life. I hear people say certain things. Let them sit in their delusions. That's their business. Let them enjoy it. If people they want this, they want 6'5", they want 6-pack, they want housewife, they want this, they want that. I don't understand why men are so bothered. Let them want it. Just because you want it don't mean you're gonna get it. If you're really trying to have honest conversations, you can want anything. I want this and that, but a lot of things I want, I don't have, and I may not get anytime soon. So I just feel as if at the same time, instead of using these conversations to really talk about statistics and what's really out there and the reality and, numbers, I feel like a lot of, especially these incels, some of these manosphere men, they use this opportunity to humble women, to shame them, to make them feel as if they can't get what they want, that they're just so unrealistic, that they're not in reality, that they're going to do, and it's like, no. Like, people are allowed to want what they want. That has nothing, like, let them do. If it doesn't apply, it's not your thing, you keep moving. They're not for you. The woman who wants this, that, and that, you're not it. She's not for you. You don't want her anyway. Why? You know what I mean? If you're so disgusted by her desires, you don't want her anyway. So why are you worried about it? You know what I mean? I just feel as if people are sometimes now, it's on both sides. People are too sensitive. They want everyone to like everything and want everything. There's no loser. Everyone is a winner and everyone is great and amazing. And no. Like, that's just not reality. Like, you can't tell me what I want or that I should want this because of that. No, you're not my God. Same way I can't tell a man, I'm not his God. It's not your place to tell someone that they can't want this, they can't want that. If that person is coming to, this is another scenario, that person is coming to you, oh my God, I'm single. Oh my God, I want a family. I don't know if it's ever going to happen, blah, blah, blah. Then you say, okay, what are you looking for? Then that person starts saying 6'5", 300K, no kids, never been married, this and that. And then that's when you could be like, okay, well, maybe some of these things you're looking for is what's making it harder. That's when you can start having that conversation. But I feel as if a lot of men use these platforms and use these things and just use this opportunity to humble women, because I think some men eat it up. I don't understand why it's so like I said, I don't even understand why you even care that a woman wants this and that if she's not for you. She's not your spec. She's not your person. So who cares? Let her want the world and above. Let her want the ocean, the Pacific, the Atlantic. Let her want it. If she's not, you don't want her anyway. So who cares? Eboni K Williams doesn't want to date a bus driver, and I feel like the reason a lot of people get so stuck on money, but it's just more than just, oh, they're not making enough. Why I said personally I wouldn't want to date a bus driver either. And it's not because it's a bad job. I remember some of my bus drivers from middle school. They were so nice, men and women. This one from high school, she was amazing, Miss Veronica. Like, she was like so nice. She was like an angel. Like, she was such a good person. So it's not that they're a bad person, but thinking about your life and being in reality that we need money to do certain type of things. If I date a man making $36,000, I'm the breadwinner. I'm paying majority of the bills, 75% upwards, and I don't want to do that. And I don't think anything's wrong with that. You can't shame me into wanting to do that. I don't want that. You know what I mean? That's not that. I really don't want that. I want to raise kids a certain type of way. I want to be able to stay with my kids when they're young, up until they're like at least 2 years old. I can't do that with a man making $36,000. I can't. You know what I mean? I cannot. It's not because I want to wear designer or do this or fly business. And even if I want to do that, that's nobody's business. But it's not because of all these materialistic things that people just jump to and think that, oh, it's because you just want to live this glamorous lifestyle. Some women, yes, but not all. Especially growing up with a single mother like Eboni K Williams, and a lot of people don't understand that factor. Like, when you see a woman work so hard to provide and you see what they've gone through, you don't want to have to go through that. And the reality is that if you date a man who's really making significantly less than you, that's your reality. I don't want to work 2 full-time jobs. I don't want to have to do that. But if I'm with a man making $36,000, I probably will have to. You know what I mean? So it's not to say he's a bad person or that his character is terrible or that he wouldn't be a great father, a great protector. No one's negating that. But like I said, math is my favorite subject. We have to pull numbers. And if you're with someone making 36K, there's a certain life you're going to have to live. And that's okay. Like I said, a woman making 36K should be okay with that for the most part. But if you can't tell a woman making $500,000 she should be okay with a man making 36K, like no. She does. At the same time, does she think that necessarily she's gonna probably make a man that makes more than her? That's another story. You know what I mean? Like we don't have to live in two extremes. Just because she doesn't want a bus driver doesn't mean she wouldn't date a man making less than her too. That's another, and that's, I did it. I went through comments. I watched several videos, content creators. No one hit on that. Everyone's just so quick to, a lot of people are just quick to attack her. But because she wouldn't date a bus driver, doesn't mean she wouldn't date a man making less than her. I don't personally know. I'm not her. But a lot of women would do it and are doing it. You know what I mean? But like I said, it has to be within reason. It has to be within a reasonable range. But like I said, I'm not going to expect a woman making millions to go date a bus driver. If she wants to do that, that's fine. If that's okay. But I don't think it's unreasonable or her looking down on them or her being stuck up or her being in her ways. That's not what she wants. I think that's very reasonable for her not to want that. But y'all know I don't want to talk too much. I don't want to ramble. Let me know about how you feel about this topic. If you haven't watched it, I'm going to try and put the link to it in the description box. But let me know. Eboni K Williams, are you with her? Are you against her? What was the issue with what she said? Why do people throw it so out of proportion? Do you feel as if she's doing too much? Or, you know what I mean? Like, do you feel as if she was not being realistic or she was like, you know, looking down? I'm going based on that statement. I don't watch all her stuff. So some people look at it, even though she was engaged for 4 years. I believe he was Jewish, a white guy. I can understand some people looking at that, like the bigger picture, like she's kind of looking down on black men. You know what I mean? Like, let me know how you feel about this topic. Please subscribe. You know, it's Ngozi. I'm here, and we'll see you in our next video. Bye.